go live. What's up, yo? What up, yo? What up, la? There we go. I'm gonna be looking that way and kind of this way at the same time because I have. Let me see. There we go. All right. Yeah. All right. So, um, last night I was at my friend's house, good friend of mine, right? And we were all there. It was man, we were there all day. I was with them. And we all met up around 1 o'clock. We didn't leave till like 8, 9 o'clock at night. We had, I mean, just laughing, had a good time, um, and and being able to be around good people, laugh, eat good food. It made me think about how all I want to do in life is laugh. Right? Right, everyone have resolutions whenever they come into a year. Right? I want to lose weight. I want to do that. I just seen somebody. They said that they want to take their health more serious in 2025. Mind you, I actually known this person for a while, and this person been saying that for like 5 years. I'm like, as long as I've known you, every year that's been your saying. At some point, you need to stop waiting. Whatever. Whatever. Neither here nor there. That's what they like to do. But my only goal, I didn't say this is my resolution or anything like that, but I remember I was going back and forth with someone. I said, look, if it ain't making me laugh, or I'm not making it or them laugh, I don't want to be around it. Right? That was my whole entire take on it. Was that laughing was the one thing that I wanted to do all year long, right? And because I put that in my mind, right? Nothing specific, right? So, oh, you got to be specific. No, I just said all I want to do is laugh, be around good people and laugh. That's it. That's it. I don't want nothing else. Be around good people and laugh. And I didn't have to cut people off in life, and I'm saying this to you as well. I don't think that you have to cut people off in life. I think that people would begin to drop off on their own, right? Let's say you got somebody around you who has a negative mindset. If you always coming around and you always got solutions and you're always happy and you're excited to talk, they'll naturally just fall away. Because the worst thing is that when you're in a negative mindset, you want to go around people who can also be in agreement with that negative mindset. But if you're around someone and they're like, look, I validate what you're saying, but what good is it doing us talking about it every single day? They'll begin to fall off. And that's exactly what happened. I think there's only one person this year who I was like, look, I can't. So you want to go laugh? You want to go do this? And so I'm realizing that for me, when I set intention, it actually helps me a little bit more versus being very, very specific. Now, there are goals that I have in life that I set. I have a goal which I'm trying to accomplish within the next 30 days. Actually, in the next 30 days, this goal should be accomplished. And so that's something I set, right? But then I have something else, other goals, which are like, 2025, I just want to laugh. I just want to be around good people, right? Everything that I do it with purpose and on purpose, right? That's what I said. Everything I do with purpose and on purpose. So that means every conversation I have, every room I walk in, every opportunity I see is done with purpose and on purpose, right? Intentionality. And so for me, this is what I'm finding to be most helpful for me as I'm growing uh, more mature. And so not only that, but another thing I'm working on right now is it's a few things in my life I'm changing up. Right, I'm changing up my parenting style because so often in the black community we tell our children as they're growing up, I ain't one of your little friends, right? And to a certain extent, it's true. You're not one of their little friends. However, what I found is that when my children growing and maturing, as they're getting older, if you don't become their friend, they'll find somebody else who's probably not safe to become their friend, right? And so it's like it's still boundaries that you have, but you need to, at some level, become their friend, someone who they could talk to, someone they could confide in. And so for me, it's a shift in my parenting that I'm going through right now. So I'm shifting. So the way I've been parenting for the past 12 years, it has to shift. It's no longer working. I remember someone told me, Sade, the survival skills that you use to survive to get out of the situation that you were in as a child and earlier on in your adult life, they're no longer useful to you. If anything, they're destructive to you. I was like, what? The tools that I used to help me survive in my childhood and like my 20s, they're no longer they're not helping me survive now. They're destroying me. And so, for example, right, it's a certain way in which I used to approach situations, approach goals, approach opportunities, whatever, when I was younger. But it helped me survive. And so, what I realized is that so often we take skills that helped us survive and we begin to apply it to the life in which we currently have, and it no longer serves us because those skills are not useful in this particular environment. That's what I'm learning. Same thing with the parenting, is that the parenting that actually helped me raise them all the way to today is no longer, it becomes destructive if you don't change it. And so, right, shifting parenting tactic, right? Other areas of my life, I'm looking like, okay, I developed that habit to help me survive. I'm no longer surviving on it, right? I'm thriving at this point, right? Oh, I wish I had my phone on me. Oh, it's right over there. My phone's over there. But one of my good friends sent me this little triangle thing about like leadership and stuff like that. And so you have to understand, for me, I'm constantly improving myself, constantly, right? That group of friends that I talked about earlier, we all sat down and we were talking about leadership and how we can improve, and we critique each other with love, right? And so what I realized, one, people need to have a circle of people who can critique them with love and with honesty. And also, what I realized too was that you have to constantly want to grow. So like the only reason why my parenting is changing and other areas of my life are changing is because I'm constantly looking to grow. That individual who I told you about earlier, who for the past 5 years, I want to get my health together, I want to get stressed. I was like, at some point you got to get tired. See, because for me, I actually had chronic stress. And operating from chronic stress actually allowed me to thrive. And then I had convinced myself that chronic stress actually helped me be successful. And I believe to a certain point it did. But then it came to a point where it became harmful, chronic stress. Right now, chronic stress is harmful because right. You begin to gain weight or lose weight. You begin to eat too much or not enough. You begin to develop high blood pressure, low blood pressure. You become pre-diabetic, diabetic. Right? You have all these things that chronic stress begins to do to you as you begin to age. And so I said, "Oh, it's got to change. It's no longer helping me grow into the person who I want to become." And so I began one surrounding myself with individuals who I admire and people who are constantly teaching me something. All right. Number one thing people say, well, where do I find these people? Legit, you get to an age, a point in life where the only place you really meet people, at least for me, because I'm a parent, is you either meet people through your kid's friend or through work. Kids' friends or through work, right? And so I really, now I will say this because I was talking to my uncle not too long ago. My uncle's, oh, yo, you can't trust nobody. Don't trust nobody at no job. There's, I would say that's true to a certain extent, right? There are genuine people who I have in my life who I met like through work. We work together and stuff like that. We like they family locked in. Anything they need, like I got them. Anything I need, they got me, right? Like those, that's family, right? And what I realized that you can't make everybody family when they're supposed to stay and remain colleagues, right? And so I actually learned that the hard way in 2022. Yeah, 2022, I had to learn that the hard way. But I learned, right? Right. Anyway, I'm switching subjects again. Sorry about that. To get back, constantly growing. And I think that that's what separates me from most people. I wish I could show y'all all my books and stuff. Like I was just looking at this book right here that I got right here. The Motivation Manifesto, right? The 9 declarations to claim your personal power. It's a pretty good book. If you get a chance to read this one, I read this book years ago. This is the same guy who there's a few other books that he wrote, right? And so I love reading books to help me grow as a person. A book in which I highly recommend everyone get is Who Not How, right? Especially if you're a leader or want to become a leader. Who Not How is a great book. And so all these things that are going on, what I realize is that if you're not constantly working on yourself, regardless of whatever goals you set for yourself, they're not going to actually be in to help you, right? So let's run this. Getting rid of your old self, because even though your old self help you become your new self and get you to where you are, it may be causing harm, right? Even some people might be. Let me just use myself. The stress. high levels of stress. High. It was not good at all. Chronic stress. In fact, shout out to Exandria again. She helped me with my PowerPoint that I'm doing for a group of professionals in higher education. Because I think that at least in the role in which I work in higher education, people tend to develop health issues because of the pressure of work, the demands of work, and things like that. And you can take this workshop and actually apply it to anything. And I'm gonna go live with it actually on here one day too. Once I finish it in February. But that workshop, it talks about a few things. But one of the things I want to talk about right now, because I talked about already, like shifting and goals and things like that. But in Japan, I went to Japan this past summer. Oh, phenomenal trip. Every day I wake up, I'm like, God, I just want to go back to Japan. The only thing I did not like about Japan, and you just can't convince me. I'm gonna have to just make sure I stay somewhere else. I cannot stand their beds. They are extremely, extremely hard. If you are from America, United States of America, you will have a hard time sleeping in their beds unless you stay at a hotel chain that's owned by an American hotel chain. Because I mean, it was bad. My son, he was hurting so bad. He's like, I can't breathe. Like, cause literally it hurts that bad because of how we sleep in America. And I said, no. It is, you can't sleep on your side. You have to sleep laying on your back. So he began sleeping on his back, but it was still hurting, because by then, like 5 days sleeping on the side, and it hurts. But I love Japan. But in Japan, they have this concept called Ikigai. Ikigai. And Ikigai, pretty much the best way to describe it is to say purpose, right? Discovering your life purpose. Right? And so as I began to mature as a person, as a mother, as a professional, that I realized that I get more in tune with what my Ikigai is, and how me not fulfilling my Ikigai actually causes harm, right? So when I began to operate from high levels of stress, because stress is what I believe got me to where I am. Because I mean, think about it like that. Oh my goodness, I would say from 2012 to about 2018, 19, yeah, 2019, super stress. Boom, every stress, right? When the pandemic hit, I actually wasn't stressed really too much. It didn't really bother me, and it didn't really bother me too much. And I had lost a family member and everything during when the pandemic. But I also learned a lot about myself. I lost weight too because I was working out. I was eating right. I had no choice but to eat. Well, I did have choices, but I was meal prepping and everything like that. And so, like high levels of stress, right? The pandemic was stressful, and I was in a doctoral program. High level every day, waking up at 4 a.m., studying from 4:30 to 6:30, Monday through Saturday, and then on Sundays 4:30 to like sometimes 4 p.m. Like, and I was extreme with it. Finished the whole year early, right? Because I was really, really extreme. But I thought that stress was hard. If I'm not stressed out, it got so bad that if I wasn't stressed out, I would create stressful situations so I would thrive. It wasn't until someone told me that survival skill is actually going to cause you harm. And so now I began to change my life and to release myself of chronic stress, right? And so I think these past like 3 months, I've just been like chill. I've been learning how to chill. I've been learning how to like be a better, because also what happens is it helps me in my personal life and my professional life. And so shout out to Kendall. Kendall was actually, he has this assessment, DISC assessment, DISC, right? DISC, the D is dominant, demanding, etc., like high level, and then the I, inspiring, influential, yeah, and then the S is like what is the S? The S is like people who like to follow like they like systems, they like following the rules, they read the rule book, like they're the people who will actually read the instruction when you put something together. And then like then you got the C, which is those are the people who like to take their time to learn everything. They need to know everything before they can make a decision. That's not me. I'm actually a 99% D, demanding and right, like really. And then I'm like 81% or 80 some percent I, inspiring and things like that. And so Kendall was telling me, Sade, when you lead in most areas of your life, you probably lead with your D. I said, yeah. He said, don't do that anymore. I want you to practice leading with your I, right? And so leading with my I, what that forces me to do is that actually takes me out of stress. The D keeps me stressed, but the I keeps me like calm because that means I'm laughing. That means I'm having fun. And I started this off by saying all I wanted to do all year long was laugh. That's it. I don't have no other requests. Just laugh. That's it. Right? So I tell stories of people. I listen to stories. Oh my God! Yesterday was so funny. Right? I was just laughing for hours, like 8 or 9 hours of just pure laughter with good people. Oh man, it was real good time. Good people. Y'all should get some good people to be around. I'm telling you, nothing like a good laugh. So he said, in your personal life, lead with your eye. In your professional life, lead with your eye. He said, because that is what's going to allow you to one, like decrease the stress and also begin for you to learn how to mature. Because you got to mature in that D. It's immature in the D, the demanding, the driving, the this, and it scares people away. Because actually only 10% of the world is at D. So if the 90% of the world is something else, and I look like the oddball in everything I do. You're too demanding. Why do I do? And then people will actually use that as an excuse as to why they can't do something. Well, I can't. No, absolutely, I can't finish this because I'm not like right. Like even my doctoral program. Actually, I did a whole course on it. Oh, you should go. I should probably put the link in here. I did a course for my doctoral program because I knew people would start asking, "How did you finish early? How did you do this?" And I wanted to be able to answer people, so I created a whole entire course or whatever. And even though I showed people the course, they still believe they can't do it. Oh, it's because you're like this and I'm like that. It's like, no, no, no. If you want to do it, right? You have to be demanding of yourself, right? That's what you have to be demanding of yourself. So, anyways, all of that to say is that I began to shift my mindset, shift my thinking, shift areas in my life, right? To be, and the goal is to eventually get it to be a 180, right? A complete 180 to where it it's impacting me in a more positive way than a negative way because I have to find new survival skills. The old ones no longer do me good. It got me to where I am. Very thankful. Thanks to God. But it's going to now cause hindrance if you don't begin to change. That's what it is for me. So here are some ways I begin to change. Right. I have this thing like we just got back from Las Vegas. We went on a vacation to go see 50 Cent in Las Vegas. And I have this thing that when I come home from vacation, one, my house has to be clean before I go on vacation. I don't play that dirty house. I clean when I get. I don't play that stuff, right? But when I come home from vacation, I cannot just sit down and say, okay, I'll unpack in an hour. Nope, start unpacking. My kids, they're like, okay, we're here. Let's just chill for an hour, 2 hours, or maybe even tomorrow we'll unpack. And I'm like, unpack everything right now, right now. But then this time I said, let me try something different. Try something different. So I said, okay. But I don't want to let completely go on myself. So I said, all right, cool. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unpack a little bit, but not too much. Right? Give myself 10 minutes to unpack what I can and move on. Unpack what I could, and then I went to go rest. That is not normal of me. That was very hard for me to do. Because I like that. Because then when I start unpacking, then I'm going to start on all the projects I didn't complete. Then I'm gonna start on all of it, like everything needs to be done. And then at midnight, I'm like, oh, I sure am tired. Hey, but I began to change because I'm actively working on changing and growing as a person. Now there are times where that D has to come out no matter what, right? But no one always wants to be around someone who's demanding, right? Because like I got a group of friends and I'll be telling like, hey, you need to do this, 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 and this, and they don't do it, and I get irritated. I'm not giving no more advice. No more advice going to y'all. Right. And so I just get irritated or whatever. But anyways, all of that to say that I began to shift and to readjust and pivot who I am as a person because my old self was no longer serving my new self, right? And not because it's 2024 going into 2025, but because it's time to grow up and mature in areas in which I never thought I needed to grow up and mature in. Because in a to a worldly standard, most people would consider me extremely successful, especially if you begin to look at where I started from. Extremely successful. However, for me, I see there's a lot of room to grow. And some people would say, "Well, do you ever just relax?" Absolutely. I get massages every week. Every week, I get massages. I got friends. We go out to go to go to the saunas. Oh, we be having a good time. But like things that are fun to me may not be fun to other people. I love sitting around talking about businesses. Like I was just with my dad like 3 days ago, and we were talking about I got this business idea that I really want to start. I'm not gonna tell you, but I was telling him about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that one would go." It was two business ideas, and I ran it by him, and he was like, "Yeah, you should do that one." And he got excited talking about that. I get excited talking about that as well because for me, those are subjects that inspire me, right? And so, like even like for me, I'm looking at areas in which which I can expand. I get excited about that. I never forget one day I was at my cousin's house, and my cousin said to me and my uncle, because me and my uncle was talking about businesses and stuff. He said, "Do y'all ever just have fun?" Yeah, we have fun. This is fun for us. This is a lot of fun for us, right? And so, anyways, I just wanted to come on here real briefly and talk to you all and just tell you all that as you're going through the motions of making your goals and coming up with your aspirations and stuff like that, realize that every day, every single day, is an opportunity for you to set a new day resolution, right? You got New Year resolution, you got New Day. Don't be like the person who I know who's been saying the same resolution for 5 years. And these are resolutions that can actually, like, I'm like, yo, if you don't get that in check, you actually gonna be dead. I never forget when someone said that to me. I had two people tell it to me, Sade, if you don't change, you're gonna be dead. Like that's how much stress I used to have on me. Yeah, you won't be here too much longer if you keep that up. And so, I mean, nothing motivates you like you gonna be dead. Well, actually, some people don't. Cause I be watching the show 600 Pound Life. They be like, if you don't change, you're gonna die. And then they, dominoes. I'm not making fun of anyone who goes through that, but like some people that's just it doesn't scare them. But for me, it does, right? Knowing that I have so much, right? I talked about your inky guy. I have so much purpose that I haven't even fulfilled or potential that I haven't even tapped into. And so I'm looking forward to tapping into that potential and the potential which I have. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go. I will talk to y'all soon. I look forward to going live more often. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Let me end the stream. Happy 2025. Going into New Year. Y'all have a good one. Today, the last day of 2024, December 31st. It is 4:21 p.m. here in California, San Diego, to be more specific. Y'all have a good one. Hey, when all else fails, don't fail on yourself. Have a great one. Bye.